Hello everyone, I'm Sandy Anastasi, Psychic Channel, Intuitive Astrologer, and Soul Coach. Folks, I'm here today with my video blog. Here is my editorial for May of 2017. This is some very personal information, but I've chosen to share it with you because frankly, I think it can help many of you who follow me and who listen to the information that I have to offer. Recently, my friends, I had a conversation with a woman regarding the extreme difficulties that she was going through. The problems she confided were real and ongoing. The emotional trauma that she experienced was a daily companion in her life. Her feelings of loss and inevitable failure were palpable. Usually, when someone approaches me in such dire straits, I encourage them to book a session with me, check their future out, get some life coaching that can help them over the humps. I encourage them to do this so that together with my guides, I can help them to sort through their issues and find a healing path for themselves. But somehow this time was different. My guides stepped into the conversation almost immediately. They prompted me to open up about my own life challenges, something I rarely, if ever, do. They told me that she needed to hear about them. They told me that by hearing my story and how I'd not lost heart, but worked through, she would gain what she needed to move forward in her own life in a positive way. It was hard for me to open up. In my life and in my work, I listen to others. I help others. What I share comes through me from my guides. When I occasionally share an example from my own past, it's only at their prompting. And it's always directly relative to what I'm talking about with my client. This was different. My guides were asking me to actually share myself with her. Now, I'm a very private person, as many of you already know and realize at this point. It's not natural for me to talk about my personal life, and especially not about my own lessons, my fears, my losses, my mistakes, or my own emotional traumas. But I do listen to my guides, and I do what I can to help those who come to me. This time, my guides were telling me to tell this person, this woman, about my own experiences of loss. So I did. I believe the effect was to help her open up to the bigger picture that everyone experiences loss in their lives. Everyone. And everyone is given the opportunity to work through those losses, to grow from the experience, and to end up in a different yet good place because of that growth. I think with my guides' prompting, I was able to give her hope. And now, also with their prompting, I want to share my story with you. My heart goes out to those of you who are hurting. I totally understand your pain and loss through my own similar experiences. You see, in 1998, my store burned to the ground. My partner and I rebuilt it, but the insurance company didn't pay what it should have, and we went into extreme debt. In 2002, he and I divorced. We were unable to get past the debt, and it took a toll on our relationship. My partner bought me out of the store, but I kept my psychic school and other classes there to help both businesses to survive. We were still struggling with the debt from the fire when Hurricane Charlie blew the entire town of Port Charlotte, where Star Child Books, our business, was located, away in 2004. The town looked like a war zone, with wreckage and debris everywhere. It took years and years and years for it to recover. Both businesses, the bookstore and my psychic school, lost their entire local clientele. But we were stuck there because we owned the building. We couldn't move. We were just stuck. My mother got cancer and died in the middle of all of this. My partner couldn't keep the store open with no walk-in customers, so I bought it back from him and built it back up again from nothing, supporting it by expanding my telephone and Skype psychic reading clientele, and by taking my classes on the road. But we were both still in debt from the fire, and then from the hurricane. So I finally sold the store to a promising employee so that I could pay some of the debt and focus on my readings to pay down the rest of it. But the employee was unable to run the store successfully. When it closed, it nearly took the school and my own clientele down with it. Meanwhile, I had remarried, but the stress of all this caused us to separate, and I moved into my parents' condo that had lost its roof and had no insurance after the hurricane. I had to renovate it while I sorted my life out, and while I cared for my dying father, who suffered from alcoholism, dementia, and COPD. All this time, I had hundreds of thousands of people worldwide depending on me. Like you, they looked to me for help and direction with their own lives. None of them ever knew any of this. Today, I've turned all of that around, and the man I love is back in my life. We have a good life, and we both understand how to navigate the currents and shifts of a life well lived. Life still delivers its occasional left hooks to the chin, and of course, some of those hits are potential knockouts. So we work hard to maintain our positive attitudes and to live life consciously, always responsible for our own choices, and of course, making those choices carefully and being conscious of only putting focused energy into the things we want to constant in our lives. Let me share the secret with you. Attitude, my friends, attitude is everything. I worked hard on my own personal attitude. I worked hard to reverse the string of calamities in my life. I realized my dwelling on past negatives was creating future problems. I realized that by holding on so hard, I was preventing the forward direction and the positive growth the universe was trying to bring me. So now, when I get up in the morning, I don't let myself think about what I've lost. I think about what I'm grateful for in my life at this moment. I don't focus on negatives or things or people I can't fix. I focus on what's going on to make me feel better now. That's in my own power to do now, and I do it. For me, at first, it was baby steps. It was little things. I refused to let my mind lead me down the dark hole of self-defeat. I told myself I was lucky until I believed it. I didn't dwell on having to move out of my beautiful house. I saw myself as so lucky that I had my parents' condo to move into. I saw myself whole. My health and well-being were under my control. I saw and still do see myself as wealthy in all things. I didn't focus on all I'd lost. I focused on how much wealth I had in my life, a place to live, good friends, great clients. And as I did, the good things kept getting better and better and better and better, and they still are. Believe me, you can turn your life around no matter what the circumstances, and you can be happy again. I'm Sandy Anastasi, wishing you all the love and happiness that this great, wonderful, abundant universe has to offer. Please visit me on my website. You'll find me online at www.sandyanastasi.com. I've got lots of freebies for you. I've got lots of classes, readings, coaching, all kinds of educational, downloadable, and physical classes and materials, even some new classes coming up online soon. Check them out. www.sandyanastasi.com. Goodbye for now.